All right, so let's talk about trading. If you spent any time at all looking into it, you've been buried in promises of easy money, right? The flashy lifestyles, the whole deal. Today, we're going to cut through all of that noise. We're going to explore a totally different way of thinking, a philosophy that's not about getting rich overnight, but about actually building lasting success. Okay, let's get into it.
So, let's just start with the most basic question there is. When you put on a trade, are you using a skill you've developed, or are you basically just rolling the dice at a casino? Seriously, how you answer that question, well, it changes absolutely everything. And that's what we're going to unpack right now.
First things first, we have to talk about the huge elephant in the room, the trading hype trap. It looks amazing, it sounds incredible, and you know what? It's the #1 reason so many new traders are set up to fail before they even place their first trade.
Oh, you know exactly what I mean. Those screenshots of massive profits, the rented sports cars, the promise that you're just one secret indicator away from telling your boss to take a hike. But come on, if it were really that simple, wouldn't we all be millionaires? Think of this explainer as the antidote to all that hype.
So, this brings us to the main idea here, a philosophy of zero risk. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Zero risk in trading? That's impossible. And you know what? You're kind of right. But like it says, it's not what you think.
The whole zero-risk idea isn't about never having a losing trade. That's a fantasy. Losses are just part of the game. Even the best baseball players strike out all the time. This is about eliminating the unnecessary risks, the big, stupid, catastrophic mistakes that can totally wipe you out.
So what are these unnecessary risks I'm talking about? They're the unforced errors. It's stuff like going all in on one trade and blowing up your whole account. It's making impulsive decisions because you're scared or you're getting greedy. And maybe the worst of them all, just jumping into a trade with absolutely zero plan. These are the risks we can control and the ones we have to eliminate.
So here's the big mental shift we need to make. You wouldn't expect to become a concert pianist after just one lesson, right? Or a master chef after cooking one meal. Trading is a craft. It's a skill, and it takes practice, discipline, and a whole lot of patience. It's about learning the scales before you try to play a symphony. And that brings us to what is maybe the single most important distinction you will ever make in your trading journey. You have to decide, are you approaching this as a professional trader or as a gambler? Just look at the difference here. A gambler runs on hope. They pull the lever and just wish for the best, and they have absolutely no plan for when things go wrong. A trader, on the other hand, operates from a plan. They look for situations where the odds are actually in their favor, and this is the most important part. They know exactly how they'll manage a loss before they even get into the trade. This all builds up to the one single rule. That is the foundation for this whole philosophy. This is the bedrock. Every single decision you make should be built on this.
And hey, it comes from a legend. Warren Buffett famously said, rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. Now, of course, he doesn't mean you should never have a single losing trade. What he means is, don't ever suffer a catastrophic loss, one that takes you out of the game for good.
So let's just simplify that. Your #1 job as a trader is not to make $1 million. It's not even to be right all the time. Your one and only job is to protect your capital. You get that right, and everything else gets a chance to fall into place.
Here's probably the best way to think about it. Your trading capital is the fuel in your car. It doesn't matter if you're driving a Ferrari. If you run out of gas, you're not going anywhere, right? You're just stuck. Protecting your capital is what keeps you in the driver's seat long enough to actually develop your skills and get to where you want to go.
So, what's the big takeaway here? It's really a 4-step change in your mindset. First, you've got to see the hype for what it is, a trap. Second, adopt this philosophy of getting rid of those unnecessary, account-killing risks. Third, make a conscious choice every single day to act like a trader, not a gambler. And finally, make protecting your capital your absolute #1 priority, above all else.
So this all leaves us with one final, really important question you have to ask yourself. When you show up to the market, are you trying to build a career, a real sustainable skill, or are you just buying a very expensive lottery ticket and hoping you get lucky? The choice is yours.